Again, is it?
Yeah.
Chapter 2. The people reclaiming their genealogy. That means tracing their roots. Who were these people who came back to Jerusalem? And this is another tongue twister chapter. You don't need to read, but I have to read. Wow. All the names and so on. But before we begin, why did God record all this for us? I mean, why not just say 49,000 or 50,000 people went back? But why capture all their names here for all of us after so many years, centuries, still reading them? Malachi 3:16. Malachi 3:16. Malachi 3:16. Then those who feared the Lord spoke to one another, and the Lord listened and heard them. So a book of remembrance was written before him, for those who fear the Lord and who meditate on his name. Those who love him and fear him, God recorded their names. We now look at the New Testament, Hebrews 6:10. Hebrews 6:10. For God is not unjust to forget your work and labor of love, which you have shown toward his name, in that you have ministered to the saints and do minister. So you have ministered in the past, and you are still ministering and do minister. So no retirement, keep ministering. And God will not forget. Your name is in the Lamb's book of life. He will open the book for us. Revelation 20 verse 12. Revelation 20 verse 12. This is after the 10,000 years, the final judgment. And then you see, verse 12, and I saw the dead, small and great, standing before God, and books were opened. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged according to their works, by the things which were written in the books. And the sea gave up the dead who were in it, and death and Hades delivered up the dead who were in them. And they were judged, each one according to his works. Then death and Hades were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. This is the spiritual death. And anyone not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So there were books, and then there was a book. You read that, right? You just read. There were books. These books records all your works, what you did and what you didn't do. And there is a book, singular. This is the book of life. And whoever's name is not there will be cast into the lake of fire. God remembers who are his. And so, these people whom we are going to read in chapter 2, they chose freedom. Remember? The rest decided to stay, but they chose freedom. No longer in bondage, they left. You and I chose freedom in Christ. We are no longer bound by sin. So, that's why it is important to go through and read all this. So you understand, genealogy is not just to test your England or your pronunciation, but to tell you that God remembers. So verse 1. Now these are the people of the province who came back from the captivity of those who had been carried away, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away to Babylon, and who returned to Jerusalem and Judah, everyone to his own city. Now, from verse 2 to the rest of the verses in chapter 2 until 17, let me break it down for you so it's easier for you. So, from verse 1 to 20, they were categorized in families. I mean, the listing, right? Who went back? So, categorized, first category, verse 2 to 20, they were categorized as families. Then, from verse 21 to 35, clans. No, sorry, cities. City. C-I-T-I-E-S. Cities. Then, from 36 to 58, they were categorized in terms of temple services. Those who serve and labor in the temple. Temple services. 59 to 63. Am I speaking slow enough? Okay, 59 to 68, clans. You know, Hokkien clan, Teochew clan, these are the clans. But these are the clans who could not prove their genealogy. Because it is important to them. They are the covenant people, especially to the priesthood. Because only those in the line of Aaron can serve as priests. So if you don't get your genealogy right, you are not eligible to serve. So this 59 to 63 points to us, highlight for us, some people who could not, some clans who could not prove their genealogy. And then the rest from 64 to 70, that is just a summary statement. And in the summary statement, they included your cats and your dogs and so on. Okay, we shall read. So, verse 2. Those who came with Zerubbabel. So, you see, the name appeared. So that's why the connection with Sheshbazzar was so close that most scholars, many scholars, concluded it is the same person. Now, Zerubbabel, what is the meaning of Zerubbabel? Stranger in Babylon. Not bad, huh? If you have that name, stranger in Babylon, that means you know your heart is not there. Your heart is somewhere else. You are a stranger here, you long to go home. And of course, you know, at this point in time, he wasn't king, but he was indeed the grandson of Jehoiachin. If you read the last couple of chapters of 2nd Chronicles 36, you will know the link, right? Zedekiah was the last king, but before that, Jehoiachin, there was Akim, and whatever. Okay, anyway, so he was the grandson of Jehoiachin. 36. Those who came with Zerubbabel were Jeshua, spelled as Jeshua, but also can be Joshua. Okay? And he was the high priest. Later, as we read Haggai and I think Jeremiah or whether another book, you will see that Joshua was the priest working with Zerubbabel. Nehemiah. Now this Nehemiah wasn't the Nehemiah who came back in the third return to build the wall. This is not. This is the time of what? Cyrus, right? Cyrus, right? Okay. Let me, this one I pull out. I pull out just this morning, so it's easier for you to study. Can see? Cyrus, right? It is here. This is where they are preparing. This is the first return. So as the list went, Zerubbabel, Joshua, Nehemiah. But Nehemiah actually came back in the third return under Artaxerxes. Under Artaxerxes. You look at Nehemiah chapter, which is the next book. Nehemiah chapter 1. Let's see chapter 1. Okay, chapter 2. Nehemiah chapter 2. We are Bible students, so I point to you all this. Otherwise, we just read it's another name, and you might think it's the same Nehemiah. And it came to pass, chapter 2, verse 1, and it came to pass in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of King Artaxerxes, when wine was before him, that I, referring to Nehemiah, I took the wine and gave it to the king. Now I had never been set in his presence before. Therefore the king said to me, why is your face sad, since you are not sick? There is nothing but sorrow of heart. Then I became dreadfully afraid and said to the king, may the king live forever. Why should my face not be sad when the city, the place of my father's tombs, lies waste and its gates are burned with fire? And so on and so forth. And then you read all the way to verse 8. And the king granted them to me according to the good hand of my God upon me. And he went to Jerusalem to build the wall. This was Nehemiah here. So this Nehemiah can't be this Nehemiah. You understand? That's what I'm trying to point to you. Okay, back to chapter 2. So those who came with Zerubbabel were Joshua, Nehemiah, Seraiah, Reliah, Mordecai, Bilshan, Mishpah, Bigvai, Rehum, and Banana. Is it? Bana. The number of the men of the people of Israel, the people of Parosh, 2,172. The people of Shephatiah, 372. The people of Aram, 775. The people of Pahath Moab, of the people of Jeshua and Joab, 2,812. The people of Elam, 1,254. The people of Zatu, 945. The people of Zakai, 760. The people of Bani, 642. The people of Bebai, 623. The people of Asgad, 1,222. The people of Adonikam, 666. The people of Bigvai, 2,056. The people of Adin, 454. The people of Ater of Hezekiah, 98. The people of Bezai, 323. The people of Zorah, 112. The people of Hashum, 223. The people of Jiba, 95. That is verse 20. This, they were identified as families, listed by families. What can we learn from this? The people of. These are families, right? What can we learn from this? Acts 16:31. Acts 16:31. This one surely you all know. You know, the night the chains broke, Paul and Silas were free. The jailer panicked. But anyway, he repented, accepted Jesus Christ. And so they say to him, because he said, what must I do to be saved? And he was told, believe on the Lord Jesus Christ, and you will be saved. You and your household. You and your household. God intends for you, He desires for you and your household to be saved. So even in the listing we just read in Ezra chapter 2, the people, they left Babylon where they were in bondage and they chose freedom. The whole family came. And here we have just read, you and your household shall be saved. So don't give up. I know my parents are still not saved. I'm still praying for them. My in-laws too. My elder brother too. But I tell God, I remind Him, you promise in your word, you say, me and my household shall be saved. And you see, all the way back in Genesis, Noah, when he was building his ark, he did it in faith. Did it in faith because it never rained before, right? Never rained before. And built an ark for what? And people will never understand. Because there is something coming. Rain, water coming. What is that? Don't know. But he built in faith. But I want to point you to something else, that he did so in faith. Hebrews 11 verse 7. Hebrews 11 verse 7. By faith, Noah, being divinely warned of things not yet seen, moved with godly fear, prepared an ark for the saving of his household. Prepared an ark for the saving of his household. God spoke to him one. He should just build the ark with rooms for all the animals, the different species, and one for himself. You know why? Because I don't think my wife, Mrs. Noah, and my Noah juniors, all my children, they will believe me. And the daughters-in-law, they won't believe me. So I just do it for myself, and when the day comes, bye-bye, I go. But he was moved with godly fear, prepared an ark for the saving of his household, by which he condemned the world. That means those who are not in the ark are condemned. You understand? By which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is according to faith. Why is it according to faith? Because he had not yet seen. Because being divinely warned of things not yet seen, and yet he moved. You understand? He had not yet seen, and yet he did something. That is faith. But some people want to see, and then they do. But the point I'm trying to say is, he prepared for his family's salvation. What have you and I done to prepare for our family's salvation? So we must do the needful. Okay, before the rain comes, before the flood comes. Anyway, back to chapter 2. So, don't give up on your family. Now, from verse 23 until verse 21 to 35, here are the listings by the cities. Verse 21, the people of Bethlehem. Hey, I know this. I read the gospel. I read Matthew. This was where Jesus was born. When they came back from exile, what was it? But they didn't know that in about 500 odd years later, Jesus would be born in Bethlehem. So praise God, the people came back. 123. 123 people came back to Bethlehem. The men of Netophath, 56. The men of Anathoth, 128. Pause here. Anathoth. What is the history of Anathoth? What is the history of Anathoth? This was the place, they went back to this Anathoth. This was the place where the prophet Jeremiah bought a piece of real estate before they were exiled. I'm just giving you the background, and then we read the scripture. So, let's say someone is coming to conquer Singapore. They are coming to evict the... Yesterday, I read the people, 5.1 million people, right? Oh. No, you read News Straits Times, I read Straits Times. 5.1 million. Take away from Singapore. Because you all have been disobedient. Bring you up wherever, north, south, east, wherever. Take you away from Singapore. But before you get evicted from Singapore, you go to city development. I say, I want to buy District 10. But it's not worth much. No. I want to buy. Okay, buy. And if after we are all exiled away, you don't even know whether you're coming back or not. You buy for what? No, I buy. He was buying in faith because God told him to buy. That was an act in faith. That was a deposit of greater things to come. Because you know what? The day will come when they shall return. And the people return to Anathoth. Wow, now the cost of the value of the land are multiplied. No. Anyway, we're not talking about, but is that it was an act in faith, and they came back to reclaim the land. So that was Jeremiah. So you turn to Jeremiah 32. Jeremiah 32. That's right. Old Testament, interesting. Quite interesting. Okay, Jeremiah 32 is about buying property, which shows faith in restoration. So in chapter 32, verse 6, and Jeremiah said, the word of the Lord came to me, saying, behold, Hanamel, the son of Shallum, your uncle will come to you, saying, buy my field which is in Anathoth, for the right of redemption is yours to buy it. So, and you read on and so on and so forth. Verse 9, so I bought the field from Hanamel. And then verse 11, I took the purchase deed. Those days also they got conveyancing. Got lawyer or not, I don't know. But so I took the purchase deed, both that which was sealed according to the law and custom, and that which was open. And I gave the purchase deed to Baruch, the son of Neriah, the son of Maaseiah, in the presence of Hanamel, my uncle's son, and so on and so forth. And later all these people were taken away. But, verse 15, houses and fields and vineyards shall be possessed again in this land. You know, that is a statement of faith. Mm-hmm. Houses and fields and vineyards shall be possessed again in this field. Mm-hmm. Take it first. Okay. And when they came back, true enough, here it is for us. So, back to chapter 2. The men of Anathoth, 128. The people of Esmaveth, 42. The people of Kirja Arim, Chephirah, and Beeroth, 743. The people of Ramah and Jebah, 621. The men of Michmas, 122. The men of Bethel and Ai, 223. The people of Neboth, 52. The people of Magbish, 156. The people of the other Elam, 1,254. The people of Harim, 320. The people of Lot, Hadid, and Ono, 725. The people of Jericho, 345. The people of Sana'a, 3,630. And you notice 3 familiar cities, namely Bethel, Ai, and Jericho. What cities were these? This was when God first brought them into the promised land, led by Joshua. But the first stop they went was not Jericho, not Bethel, not Ai. They went to Gilgal, where they prepared themselves. They circumcised and all this. They prepared themselves. And then they went to the walls of Jericho to bear down. And then Bethel and Ai. But these were all the early cities where they began. So now these people are returning. God is returning them to the place where they first began. Now some of these names that I've just read seem a bit difficult to pronounce and so on, because included in this list are Persian names and Babylonian names, because they came from there. Okay, so the family names and all this included there. Okay. So verse 36 to 53, I believe. Verse 36 to 58. It's about the people who served in the temple. They were also listed. So, verse 36, the priests, the sons of Jedaiah, of the house of Jeshua, 973, the sons of Immer, 1052, the sons of Pashhu, 1247, the sons of Harim, 1017. Then we have the Levites. Now, the Levites are those who labor, do the labor around the temple and the courtyards and so on, but they don't serve, they don't go into the inner court, they don't participate in the worship, okay, they don't lead in the worship. So the Levites, the sons of Jeshua and Kadmiel, of the sons of Hodaviah, 74. Hey, the Levites are equivalent to the deacons. You understand? Elders are elders, spiritual matters. Then deacons are to help out in the administrative matters and so on. So these are the Levites. And only 74. Not enough hands to go around. Anyway, the singers, important. They are also very much part of the worship. The singers, the sons of Asaph, 128. Wow, more singers than deacons. The sons of the gatekeepers, the sons of Shallum, the sons of Ater, the sons of Talmon, the sons of Akub, the sons of Hatita, the sons of Shobai, 139 in all. Verse 43. The Nethinim, the sons of Ziha, the sons of Hashupah, the sons of Tabaoth, the sons of Kiros, the sons of Shahah, the sons of Adon, the sons of Lebanah, the sons of Hagabah, the sons of Akub, the sons of Hegab, the sons of Shammai, the sons of Hanan, the sons of Gidel, the sons of Gaha, the sons of Raiah, the sons of Rezin, the sons of Nekoda, the sons of Gazam, the sons of Uzzah, the sons of Paseah, the sons of Bezai, the sons of Ashna, the sons of Menuim, the sons of Nephusim, the sons of Babu, the sons of Hakupah, the sons of Hahu, the sons of Basluth, the sons of Mahida, the sons of Hasha, the sons of Bakhos, the sons of Sisera, the sons of Tamar, the sons of Nehemiah, and the sons of Hatipha. I need a break. Okay, wait. Here, Do you remember who are the Nethinims? Before we go further, do you know who are the Nethinims? Do you remember all the way back in Joshua? Joshua was under the instruction of God, go in and eliminate. Go in and eliminate. Then there was one group of people who were afraid. So what they did was they disguised themselves and came to Joshua and said, hey, we came from a different place and far off and so on. So Joshua, okay lah, let them go. But later he found that, hey, you lied. So condemn them in such a way that, okay, you shall serve us. Okay? You shall serve us forever. So Joshua 9, in case you have forgotten, Joshua 9. Joshua 9, verse 3. But when the inhabitants of Gibeon heard what Joshua had done to Jericho and Ai, they worked craftily and went and pretended to be ambassadors. They took old sacks on their donkeys, old wineskin, and torn and mended old and patched, and sandals on their feet, and so on and so forth. And then they went to tell a sob story. So Joshua said in verse 7, so how can we make a covenant with you? Then they said, we are your servants. So you flip next page. For me, it's next page. When Joshua found out, of course, he was a bit upset. But still, he gave his word because it was a covenant. You understand? Covenant, don't break. Okay? You can't break. Okay? So, in verse 23, in fact, verse 22, why have you deceived us, saying we are very far from you, and when you dwell near us? Verse 23, chapter 9, Joshua. Now therefore you are cursed, and none of you shall be freed from being slaves, woodcutters and water carriers for the house of my God. So you are going to be laborers in the house of God. Now they were not Jews, they were Canaanites. And yet by that covenant that Joshua had made, so there cannot break the covenant. So okay, fine. But now you are cursed. You shall work woodcutters and water carriers in the house of God. And their social status was low. If you go and read, not in the Bible but other books, their social status is even worse, lower than an illegitimate child. You know how they look upon adultery under the law. Stone, right? How can you even father or you give birth to a child out of wedlock? You'll be stoned. But then the child is born illegitimate. So that child's status is in their society will be low, right? But these Nethinims are even lower. Because you know why? They were foreigners. Yeah. But still, they were serving. They were accepted. And they were serving in the house of God. So, I tell people, our God is full of grace and full of mercy. Don't be quick to judge who is and who isn't in the house of God. Because on that day, you'll be surprised. You ask people, hey, how come he is here? People, how come you are here? People you expect to be there before, in the presence of God in the new heaven, new earth. Hey, some people you expect to be there, not there. Some people you don't expect to be there. Wow, you made it. The guy said the same thing to you. Okay? So, this is God, He is the judge. We leave it to Him. So these are the Nethinims. So verse 55. Now we look at the servants that Solomon drafted. Solomon drafted foreigners to help in the construction of the first temple. So these people stayed behind and they have kids. So the sons of Solomon's servants, the sons of Sotai, the sons of Sophireth, the sons of Peruda, the sons of Ja'ala, the sons of Gakon, the sons of Giddel, the sons of Shaphatiah, the sons of Hatel, the sons of Pochereth, of Zebaim, and the sons of Ami. All the Nethinim and the children of Solomon's servants were 392. This passage that we have just read, these are Nethinims who were not Jews, and Solomon's servants were not Jews, but they were there serving in the doing all the laborious work. Now, we go on to verse 59. You want me to finish this or you want to break?